Windhorse on who could be after Draymond Green.
Kings can now go hunting for Draymond Green if they wish. And that would be extraordinarily interesting because it is the exact type of player that they need.
So will the Sacramento Kings, who do have that cap space, want to steal from the Golden State Warriors? When Mike Brown want Draymond Green on that roster, how would we feel if Sacramento did pull that type of move?
Would it be it's not the same because it's the Dodgers, but would it have a Jeff Kent-like feel to it?
I think it'd be stronger because
Kent left the Astros first, then the Dodgers.
And then went to the Dodgers. So you had time to kind of, all right, Jeff Kent's away. Yeah. Then he comes back in the National League West. This is top of the top.
Like, what would it even be equivalent to?
This is top of the top. This blows away Juan Uribe going to the Dodgers after the championship series.
I think that was everyone was like,
Jason Schmidt, even though he didn't really pitch for the Dodgers.
But you get where I'm going.
Diamondbacks aren't as hated. Bumgarner, the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, but
like that because it was like the D-backs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was like it.
This is Draymond Green going to Sacramento.
If he goes to the Detroit Pistons, then it'll feel like Bumgarner to the D-backs.
Right. But if he goes to Sacramento.
Not that they're on the Dodgers level, because I can already think of Casey and D'Lo running with this material that Giants-Dodgers is equivalent to Warriors-Kings. It is not, but it's getting there.
Casey and D'Lo would have to pivot so hard if Draymond Green joined their roster.
Could you imagine?
Casey hates Draymond. Oh, my gosh. Speaking of Sacramento, let's go to Jason in Sac. Jason, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, what's happening?
What's up?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up, because you guys were still talking about Jordan Poole. I did wanted to compare his 4 years with the Warriors with Harrison Barnes' 4 years with the Warriors. Who do you think guys had a better career? I mean, both of them gave us a championship in their third year, and then on their fourth year, both of them kind of left with a bad note. I mean, with Harrison Barnes, you definitely don't want to look at the Kevin Durant thing because it did kind of soften the blow. But there was a time where we were thinking about bringing Clay off the bench for Harrison Barnes. What did you guys?
Nobody's thinking about that. Number one, nobody was thinking about
Iggy.
That. Yeah, Iguodala. And number two, Jordan Poole was more impactful for that championship run than Harrison Barnes was for that championship run, in my opinion. I don't even remember Harrison Barnes defensively was better than Jordan Poole.
Yes,
but offensively didn't have the same impact.
It feels so
Jordan
long
Poole.
ago. It's hard for me to remember like his impact on that season.
Right. Hey, and I'm with Travis Irby. Barnes never scored like Poole.
No, but he did other things. He played better defense.
I remember
he was more of a glue guy. He was just asked to do different things.
I remember his first playoff run more so than I remember his championship run.
When he scored 20 points as a 20-year-old against the San Antonio Spurs.
Exactly.
The Black Falcon flies high.
But Draymond Green. Let's move on to Draymond Green because Jordan Poole's gone. I can't wait for Jordan Poole to speak with Washington. Going to be fascinating. Chris Paul now go to State Warrior, run to the second unit. What is too much for Draymond Green? Or 888-957-9570. Does Draymond Green deserve whatever he gets? Does Draymond Green deserve $33 million for what he's done for the Warriors in the past? Because it feels like a lot of fans feel like that. Our YouTube chat. Give Draymond Green whatever he wants. It's all about keeping the core together. Are you still married to the core? Are you still, as a Warrior fan, married to the core with Klay Thompson, Draymond Green? Because I think
knowing
there's
that
an argument
limits
to make.
you.
Yeah.
No, that's the part. Because if it was like baseball, unlimited salary cap, bring them back. But when you bring them back for that money, you also recognize it really, really, really limits your movement. Because I don't think I think they understand a little. I don't know if they truly understand. Bringing him back has severe consequences in terms of team building around those guys. That's the part. It's not just bringing Dre back. It's the severe consequences around bringing him back at the money that he's asking for because it limits the amount of moves you can make dramatically.
And he's opted out of that deal for $27.5 million. So if you do re-sign Draymond Green, it's going to cost you a lot of money. Are you married to Draymond Green? Do you think the contract will age well? Let's go to Clark the Shark, Myrtle Beach. Clark the Shark, what is happening?
Hey, brothers, how are you guys doing?
We're good, man. We're good.
Yeah, all right. I love the conversation. And one thing I was going to say is, it seems like social media and getting on the freeway kind of reveals some of the problem with our culture, but that's another story. I know you want to talk about Draymond, and I think that they're going to let him go if he let's say gets an offer. They're not going to pay him 3 years for $100 million, and they shouldn't. I mean, he hasn't earned that. In fact, he has hurt the team on so many occasions, whether it be kicking LeBron or chasing Kevin Durant out of town. And now, I mean, that's the most egregious thing you can do is hit a teammate like he did. That was a bully move. And to think that people are defending Draymond against a sweet kid. Oh yeah, he may have, be a talker, but he didn't deserve that. Yeah. And so I think to be a good team, let Draymond go. Tear off the bandage. They may do kind of a last dance thing and give him a 1-year deal. I don't know if he'll take it, but I think what really has to happen is just let him go. Get back to being the good guys again.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Being the good guys again. Clark the Shark hit on something that's got me thinking. I don't want to go back down to Jordan Poole. I want to see how the Warriors can fix this roster. We're bringing up some expiring deals. Like, is Wiggins untouchable? Is Clay untouchable? Is it the worst thing in the world to have a bunch of expiring contracts while still competing for a championship? I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. But everybody keeps talking about, well, Jordan Poole's a talker. Jordan Poole's a talker. Well, we all love Draymond Green because, one, he's very good defensively, has one of the highest IQs in the NBA, but he's also a talker, and we like talkers. So all of a sudden, we don't like Jordan Poole because he talks? We're kind of contradicting ourselves here as a fan base. We really are. We fell in love with Draymond Green because not only did he play well, but he backed it up by talking a tremendous amount of trash.
What about this element? Are you worried about drop-off when it comes to after he gets paid? Because I'm looking at, he got paid in the 2020-2021 season.
And it was not good.
You talked
2019, 2020.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, the money kicks in 2020, 2021. Points are down, turnovers are up, assists are up a little, defensive rebounds are about the same. But the production 2 years in a row was kind of stagnant. And then this year, in a contract year, he has an uptick. Are you a little worried about slight drop-off? And we're not even talking about age drop-off. I'm just talking about drop-off in terms of motivation once you get a new deal.
My thing is the motivation should be averaging a double-double or close to it. And I've seen Draymond Green go out there, and when he wants to, he can score the basketball. Now, I'm not saying he's dropping 30 a game, but you can't give me 12 to 14. That this team did it. We saw it against Sacramento 21 in a big game 5. Could I get that consistently? Can I stay away from the 5 to 6 point games and get more of the 12 to 14 point games? And I think Draymond Green is very capable of doing that. We just haven't seen it in a very long time. So a lot of people are going to be skeptical about that. Can you move forward with Draymond Green not giving you that offensive punch that you need? Because let's be honest, as good as Steph is, there's a slight slippage with the 3-point percentage. There's a slight slippage in terms of the deep threes made. Yeah. We see a slight slippage with Klay Thompson, especially on the defensive end. As those guys get a little older, they're still going to be productive offensively, but will it be as efficiently as it once was? And therefore, you need other guys to pick up the slack.
Yeah, I just, man, it's got. It's not this severe, but it's got a very Nash, Kobe vibe there, where you're sticking with the old guys and you're praying for health. And I just think that you need a dude in their prime, and that's also why I'm reluctant to move off of Wiggins, Bonte.
Yeah,
because he's one of the few dudes in his prime. I mean, so you're gonna go Steph, Dre, Clay, CP3, and pray you get 60 out of each of them that overlap each other?
Yeah, I don't know. 510 is asking, what is a good sign and trade option for Draymond Green? We could ask Justin Termini at 8 o'clock. We've had Termini on before. He co-hosts NBA Today on Sirius XM Radio with Eddie Johnson, our main man. I know we got some Eddie Johnson sound bites I want to get to in seconds, but if you could pull those up from Friday, he joined Steiny and Guru, Eddie Johnson, on Chris Paul. We'll ask him if there's any sign and trade ideas for Draymond Green. What does he expect during this free agency period? Also, Mark DeLucci covers the Giants for Sports Illustrated's Fan Nation. He's all over the Giants. We'll do that at 9:20. Mark DeLucci, he's really, really good. You guys will enjoy him. But Draymond Green, what do you do here? Chris Paul as well. After having a couple days of getting let's play this first.
I'm warming up to it. Not that I'm hot. I'm warming up to it because I have to. I have to just basically accept it. He's going to be on the Warriors at least till January.
At least till January. Now, Draymond Green did say this about the second unit, and this was a very interesting nugget here by Draymond Green. This was in The Athletic. This was earlier this season, actually back in November. And Draymond Green was talking about the second unit. He said, as a second unit, your job isn't to go out there and build a lead. Your job is to maintain the lead. If the first unit fails to build a lead, then your job is to slow down and settle the game. That's just kind of been my focus. This is when Draymond Green started playing with the second unit, remember? And they stabilized things early in the season. That's just kind of been my focus, just trying to help that unit play as much mistake-free basketball as we possibly can. What am I doing? Green said, number one, just trying to slow the unit down. That unit should not play as fast as the first unit, which I agree with. It should be more methodical. It should be more sets. It should be more pattern movements as opposed to random movements and random offense. I think for me, it's just trying to slow that unit down. And then number two, most importantly, make sure that unit is defending. Now, one thing about Chris Paul and about that quote, we know Chris Paul will settle down a second unit.
Well, he'll play deliberate.
What's wrong with my unit?
But can we also...
And we know he's going to play mistake-free basketball.
So
you got to give him that.
No doubt. I saw a lot of rhetoric about Jordan Poole playing way too fast with the second unit. Jordan Poole plays fast in general.
Right.
Can we also acknowledge the second unit was a revolving door of chaos where actually if you're going to play, up-tempo probably wasn't the worst way of playing with Kuminga and Moody and some of those guys. Because you know why? Because they struggle in half-court sets.
Right. But they, at the same time...
Because of the veteran point guard as well. Like, it's a double-edged sword.
But they also, when we think about sets... I wanted more pick and roll with that unit.
No, I agree.
They were still playing read and react with a bunch of youngsters who don't really know how to run read and react.
And even the veteran, JaMychal Green, he's bombs away.
Right, but he didn't really play much.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, I'm using that as an example.
He's a three-point shooter from the corner or the top of the key.
And DiVincenzo would play with pace at time.
Right. But again, the second unit, to your point, was a revolving door.
The second unit just wasn't good.
Well, everybody's hurt. It was all hurt.
Yeah.
Wiggins leaves, so now all of a sudden you're playing guys heavier minutes. So we don't really know what that second, but with Chris Paul, at least, he will settle it down. So I do get it from that standpoint. If efficiency matters to me, when you don't turn the ball over and you shoot 37.5% from the three-point line, and Chris Paul at 38 years old, some people talk about him like a bum. He wasn't a bum with Phoenix last year. Now, we hate Chris Paul and we hate some of the antics, but let's keep it real. He was no bum last year.
No, but when you traded away Jordan Poole, I think a lot of us wanted something more impactful for the final 6 minutes of the game. You wanted somebody that could play both ways and play and be more starter as opposed to more bench solidified. But that maybe is an indication of just his value.
Yeah, and I don't know what we could expect from Jordan Poole. With the way we talked about Jordan Poole, think about that. Another thing, we're expecting impactful players, top-tier players from Jordan Poole, yet we talk about Jordan Poole like he's a bum as a fan base. So what were you expecting to get?
That's the problem.
What were you expecting to get for Jordan Poole with that contract attached to him?
I have a water bottle, and it's a terrible water bottle. Give me your Porsche, Monte. Is CP3 going to start?
Well, no.
Are you sure?
No. Steve Kerr's talked about it. We've kind of heard some of the rumblings that we expect him to run that second unit. Who are you going to start him for?
No, who
are you going to start? Are you going to start small?
No. I don't think he should start. Given what they have right now, I do not think he should start. But, I mean, this is a guy who started his entire career. I'm just asking.
He's 38 years old.
I know, but the mirror is the last to know.
If Russell Westbrook could come off the bench and all these other guys would start to come off the bench, I think Chris Paul would be. I don't know who you start him for, but here's what Eddie Johnson said.
This is Klay Thompson.
No, he's not starting for Klay Thompson. That is
who
asinine.
Said that?
No, it's just a rejoin. He just played a rejoin. I know what he was doing. He's trying to add Klay Thompson to the bench for Chris Paul. You're not going to start Chris Paul and Steph Curry together.
The smallest.
Like, that's silliness. Nope. That's dumb. Eddie Johnson, color analyst for the Phoenix Suns, joined Steiny and Guru on Friday. He was asked if Chris Paul had anything left in the tank.
Chris has a lot left for a 38-year-old. I mean, let's just put it where it is. Like, we have to give him credit for being able to persevere as long as he has in this league. In a time when guys wish they could get 10 to 12 years in, he's trying to play till he's 40 years old. Says a lot about his determination, his desire, and his love for the game. A lot of young guys right now, I can guarantee you, i.e. maybe Kawhi Leonard, guys like that, they won't play past 13 years because I don't know if their love for the game is at a high level. So you're getting a guy in Chris Paul that loves the game. He's a student of the game. tremendous teammate, and he'll win games for you. Now, I'm kind of curious how he's going to fit because you all play a faster pace, and he's more of a controlled player right now. But from a basketball standpoint, without a doubt, he's going to make an impact on your team.
You believe Eddie Johnson? Because he keeps it real with us.
I'm with that.
He doesn't hold anything back. And Eddie Johnson's not the type of dude he's going to cape for the Phoenix Suns, but he didn't have to go out there and say that about Chris Paul.
In my mind, when I think of Chris Paul and what annoys me is when he's holding the ball with his right arm and he's pointing with his left hand and screaming at a teammate to do X, Y, and Z off ball. And all I keep visualizing is him and Draymond both standing at the top of the key demanding the ball. I don't know how it's going to, I want to see how it's going to fit. I kind of want to see it. And maybe I'm making too much of the overlapping minutes and they're not going to overlap as much as I'm visualizing in my head. I kind of have to see it. I think it'll work really well with Steph and Clay.
Well, I do like the fact that Jonathan Kuminga gets a pure point guard.
Yes, lob threat.
I think this could be really beneficial for Jonathan Kuminga in his third year. And we could see that quantum leap with Jonathan Kuminga.
But CP3 needs to be patient with him, too.
No, I think he will. I think
he's
going to put I think he's going to put Kuminga in a great situation to thrive. Hey, this is where you need to be. This is where you need to cut. How about you take this shot? How about you get on the block here? You got the mirror shot. Chris Paul, think about what he did for that Oklahoma City team in the bubble.
That was like 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
2 years ago. But think about the seeds he planted with that organization.
For sure.
And how much better Shai Gilgeous-Alexander got around him. How much better Lou Dort got around him. And how much better they are today for that. I think as much as we hate Chris Paul, we don't give him credit for that.
No, it's not.
And he deserves credit for that.
He's really good. The biggest question is how much does he have left in the tank? Right? That's the first one. The second one is, can they all play nice?
Well, how much do you believe he has left in the tank?
I just don't know. I don't know. I think he's going to look really good at times. And then I think that he's going to be like the soft tissue injuries have lingered for him for 5 straight years. So to think that they're going to be able to walk this tightrope feels a little optimistic for me. I don't know, man. I think he's going to look really good when healthy.
He's played more games than Steph in the regular season the last 4 years. He played 70 games with OKC, 70 with Phoenix, 65, and then 59 last year. And there's a lot of load management to his game last season. But you look at the shots he took. I mean, this guy shot 44% last year, coming off a year in which he shot 49%. This is a career 47% shooter from the floor. All right, he's a career 37% three-point shooter.
He's an all-time player.
So
he's going straight to the Hall of Fame.
So you get the Hall of Famer to come run your second unit and at times spell Stephen Curry? I'm starting to get over the hate for Chris Paul. He still annoys me at times. But damn, this ain't a bad. It could do a lot worse. I mean, this ain't a bad player who's going to be on a contract year, so he'll be motivated to at least get 1 year. And if it doesn't work out, just simply flip the guy at the deadline.
Well, if he plays nice and he accepts the backup role, this is better than getting a Tyus Jones. This is better than getting...
It's the best backup point guard in the league.
Yeah, I would agree. If he's accepting of his role and you can overlap some of those minutes, like in your heart of hearts, you're thinking you're going to get a lot of the Iguodala elements that you got in 2022 before he got hurt.
Yeah, no, but Chris Paul still, as much as we can criticize him, played 32 minutes a game. Now you may get him playing 26 minutes a game. Now you shave off some of those minutes over the long haul. Now, the playoffs is different. He could tweak something on any given day. Injuries happen. Hell, we see everybody get hurt. Everybody tweaks something in the playoffs. How many injuries we've seen in the playoffs over recent memory? We've seen a lot. We've seen a lot that really Embiid got hurt. He played like an MVP.
Jimmy Butler rolled his ankle.
So Jason Tatum rolled his ankle the first minute of game number 7.
Yeah.
It was never the same in that one. So I think as a basketball fit, getting over all the shit, I'm warming up to Chris Paul running the second unit. It's just a shock that Chris Paul is a member of the Golden State Warriors. That's the thing.
We're here. We're talking ourselves in. It took a couple of days, and we're both talking ourselves into it.
Well, everything around it, the financial flexibility, the guy who's running the second unit, he's efficient. He's going to hit open shots. He's not going to force bad shots. He'll get the offense in the right situation. That's one thing I can say about him.
All right, so we did this with D'Lo, and almost instantly we kind of realized,
D'Lo was a completely different player.
Agreed. But let me ask you, if you were to weigh the two options, more likely Chris Paul helps you meaningfully in the playoffs, or he's dealt at the deadline?
I think he helps you in the playoffs.
All right.
I think he
Is that
helps you
like
in the playoffs.
75-20 or like 51-49?
It's more 65-35.
Okay, you met in the middle.
Yep.
I can appreciate that.
A little more than the middle.
No, I'm saying like you met in the middle of the two numbers
Oh,
that I threw out there.
yeah. I think it could work, man.
Yeah, I'm going to go 51-49.
I think it could work. I think it could work.
I think it's 50-50 that he stays past January.
I think it could work. I really think Chris Paul could work in the system, especially with that second unit. Now,